You procrastinate because your brain has learned something incredibly powerful. Avoiding a difficult task feels good. You open the assignment, stare at it for a few seconds, feel that tiny wave of discomfort, and suddenly checking your phone feels like the easiest thing in the world. Then comes the relief. And that relief is exactly what trains your brain to procrastinate again. Psychologists call this emotional avoidance. But underneath it is a deeper mechanism, a procrastination loop that turns a few seconds of discomfort into hours of avoidance. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how that loop works, why you procrastinate even when you genuinely care, and the simple system you can use to break it. Chapter 1. The Procrastination Loop. Here's what actually happens when you procrastinate. You sit down to study, you open the chapter, you see 20 pages of material, and immediately your brain notices something. Discomfort. Maybe the material is difficult, maybe you're tired, maybe you don't know where to start, or maybe you're worried you won't understand it. Your brain doesn't care about the exam 3 weeks from now. It cares about making you feel better right now. So you reach for your phone. 1 short becomes 5, 5 becomes 20, and for a moment, you feel better. That's the important part. You didn't just get distracted, you escaped the discomfort, and your brain rewarded you with relief. This creates a simple loop: discomfort to escape, to relief to repeat. That's the procrastination loop. And every time you repeat it, your brain becomes slightly better at recognizing the pattern. Eventually, you don't consciously decide to procrastinate. You just feel uncomfortable, and your hand reaches for your phone. There's something even stranger about this. Sometimes, the more you care about the task, the more likely you are to avoid it. Chapter 2. Why you procrastinate on things you care about. You can spend 2 hours watching random videos without thinking twice. But when you need to work on something that could actually change your life, suddenly it feels exhausting. Why? Because important tasks carry emotional weight. If you don't care about the result, failure doesn't really matter. But if you care deeply about succeeding, the task can become connected to fear. What if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if you spend months working on something and it goes nowhere? Now you're not just writing an essay. You're dealing with uncertainty. You're not just studying. You're dealing with the possibility of failing an exam. You're not just building a project. You're wondering whether you're actually capable of doing it. Your brain wants to escape that feeling. And this is where present bias makes everything worse. Your future self wants the good grade. Your future self wants the finished project. Your future self wants the successful business. But your present brain wants relief. And relief is available immediately. That's why procrastination can happen even when you genuinely care. You aren't choosing failure over success. You're choosing immediate comfort over delayed reward. And now we know exactly where to attack the problem. Not after you've been scrolling for an hour. Not after you've wasted the entire afternoon. At the moment, the resistance first appears. Chapter 3. The resistance window. There is a tiny moment between "I don't want to do this" and opening your phone. I call this the resistance window. This is the moment where you still have control. Imagine you're about to study. You open your book. You read 2 sentences. They're confusing. Your brain says, "I'll just check my phone for a minute." That's the resistance window. Most people don't even notice it. They simply follow the impulse. But once you recognize it, you can interrupt it. The first step is incredibly simple. Name the feeling. Don't say, "I'm lazy." Say, "I'm feeling resistance." That small distinction matters because you're no longer treating the feeling as an instruction. You're observing it. Your brain is saying, "This feels uncomfortable." And you're saying, "I know." Then comes the second step. Shrink the task. Don't tell yourself, "I need to study physics for 3 hours." That's enormous. Instead, "I'll solve the first question." Don't say, "I need to finish this entire project." Say, "I'll work on it for 5 minutes." You're not trying to finish the task. You're trying to cross the resistance window without escaping. And once you've started, something interesting happens. The task often feels much easier than it did 5 minutes earlier. Because the hardest part wasn't necessarily doing the work, it was starting the work while your brain was resisting it. And this leads to the system I want you to use. Chapter 4. The Resistance Breaker. The next time you catch yourself procrastinating, use this 3-step system. I call it the Resistance Breaker. Step 1. Name it. The moment you feel the urge to escape, this is resistance. Don't negotiate. Don't judge yourself. Just recognize what's happening. Step 2. Shrink it. Turn the task into one tiny action. Study chemistry becomes read 2 pages. Write an essay becomes write the first paragraph. Edit the video becomes edit the first minute. Make the starting point so small that your brain has almost nothing to argue with. Step 3. Start immediately. Not in 5 minutes, not after 1 more short, not when you suddenly feel motivated. Now. Because motivation usually comes after action, not before it. And here's the rule. You only owe yourself 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you can decide whether to continue. But during those 5 minutes, escaping isn't an option. Most of the time, you'll discover something important. You didn't actually hate the task. You hated the feeling of starting it. And once that feeling disappears, momentum takes over. But we can make this even easier by changing what happens before you work. Chapter 5. The 20-minute Anti-Procrastination Routine. Here's the routine I want you to try tomorrow. It takes less than 20 minutes to set up. Step 1. Choose one finish line. Before you start your day, choose the one thing that absolutely needs to move forward. Not 10 goals, not a giant to-do list, one finish line. For example, finish Chapter 3. That's much better than study today. Your brain needs something concrete to finish. Step 2. Remove the escape. Put your phone somewhere you cannot casually reach it. Close unnecessary tabs, clear your desk. Get everything you need before starting. You're creating an escape barrier. You're making procrastination slightly harder and starting slightly easier. Step 3. The 5-minute entry. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Your only job is to begin. No pressure to finish, no pressure to be perfect. Just start. Step 4. Work in focused blocks. Once you're moving, use a simple cycle. 25 minutes work, 5 minutes break. But there's one rule. Your break cannot become another escape. No TikTok, no shorts, no Instagram. Because if you give your brain a massive dopamine reward during every break, returning to the difficult task becomes much harder. Walk around, stretch, drink water, look outside, then come back. Step 5. Record the completion. When you're finished, physically mark it. Put a check beside it. Cross it off. Whatever works. Because you're giving your brain evidence. I started something uncomfortable, and I finished it. That evidence matters. Confidence isn't created by telling yourself you're disciplined. It's created by repeatedly proving it to yourself. Chapter 6. The 7-Day Reset. Now I want you to try something for the next 7 days. Call it the completion rule. For 7 days, don't try to become perfectly productive. Don't create a ridiculous 15-hour schedule. Don't download another productivity app. Don't build another complicated system. Every day, choose one meaningful thing and finish it. That's your win. And watch what happens. On day 1, your brain will probably try to escape. Day 2, you'll notice the resistance earlier. By day 3 or 4, starting becomes slightly easier. And eventually, you're building something much more valuable than motivation. You're building evidence. Evidence that says, I can feel resistance and still act. I can be uncomfortable without escaping. I finish what I start. And that identity is far more powerful than simply telling yourself, I need to stop procrastinating. The final truth. Here's the thing about procrastination. You don't need to eliminate every distraction. You don't need perfect discipline. And you don't need to suddenly become a completely different person tomorrow. You just need to recognize the moment your brain tries to escape and interrupt it. Because every time you feel resistance and choose to continue, you're teaching your brain something new. Discomfort doesn't mean stop. It means start small. Name the resistance, shrink the task. Start for 5 minutes, remove the escape, finish one meaningful thing. Do that for 7 days. And you'll begin to see procrastination differently. Because you're not fighting a lazy version of yourself. You're training a brain that has learned to escape discomfort. To finally learn that action can come first and motivation can follow.